Hello friends, how are you all? So let us start with our lecture. In the previous lecture, I told you about the supply curve, that is SS supply curve slopes upwards from left to right, which has a positive slope. That means it shows that whenever the price is increasing, the supply of commodity is also increasing. But now, what we have to see, we have to see the exceptions to the law of supply. Okay, there are some exceptions that in this exceptions, what we have to see, just like the exceptions to the law of demand also, whenever there will be a increase in price, the supply will not increase. In that case, it would decrease. Therefore, it is known as the exceptions to the law of supply. Let us see the first one, the supply of labor. Labor supply is the total number of hours that workers to work at a given wage rate. It is represented graphically by a supply curve. Actually, this is explained with the help of the diagram only, because the hours of work and all that it is shown in the diagram. That will be just now I explain you with that only. It will be get more clear. See, when the wage rate is 100 rupees per hour, the hours of work per day is 5 and total amount of wages rupees 500. That means if a labor want to earn 500 rupees per day, he has to work 5 hours per day. Okay, when the wage rate will increase to 200, it will increase hours of work to 7 hours, so that the worker will get 1400 as a income. But see here, if the wage rate is increasing to 300 per hour, so what the worker says, or what he thinks, laborer will think that why should we work more than 6 hours, because the earning will always be increased for working on 6 hours only. That means अगर 6 घंटे काम करके ही मुझे इतना पैसा मिल रहा है, तो why should I work for more than 6 hours? Okay, in that case he will work only for 6 hours. And here what it shows, that whenever the wage rate is increasing, the supply of labor is decreasing. Okay, see, it is explained in the diagram that the wage rate is taken on y-axis and supply of labor, that is hours of work, on x-axis. The original position, the first one, when the wage rate is rupees 100, the hours of work will be 5 hours per day. When wage rate increase to 100 to 200, this the number of workers, or number of hours, will increase from 5 to 7. Okay, after that, when the wage rate is increased to 300, the hours per day will reduce from 7 to 6. That means it comes backward. See, whatever given here, SAS1 is the backward bending labor supply curve. See, the question is asked on this point, explain backward bending labor supply curve. In that case, you have to write, this is the exceptions to the law of demand, law of supply, and you have to give this schedule and then the diagram. SA is increasing supply curve, while AS, that is AS1, here again some misprint is there, so better you correct it. AS1 is the leisure time, and therefore we can say that it is a backward bending labor supply curve, because at first level it is increasing, in the next level it goes on decreasing, it comes back. So this is the very important question which is asked on this topic, that is exceptions to the law of supply. Now see, the explanation of the diagram is given here as shown on the x-axis, and wage rate per hour is shown on the y-axis. The curve SAS represents backward bending supply curve of labor. It is explained in the same way just now I explained you. So what he is saying, thus he means we have to consider the laborer. Laborer is ready to work only for 6 hours. At the point A, the supply curve bend backward, which becomes an exception to the law of supply. Okay, now the agricultural goods. The law of supply does not apply to the agriculture goods as they are produced in a specific season and their production depends on weather conditions. See, the law of supply does not apply. Why? Because if there is an increase in price of the agricultural goods, the law of supply does not hold because the demand in the previous lecture also I told you that we cannot increase the production of the agricultural goods at once because there is an increase in price of the agricultural goods. We cannot increase the supply of the agricultural goods. Okay, therefore it is the exceptions to the law of supply. Due to unfavorable changes in weather, if the agricultural production is low, their supply cannot be increased even at a higher price. The third one is urgent need of cash. If the seller is in urgent need for hard cash, he may sell his product at which may even be below the market price. This is also the exception to the law of supply because if the seller wants to sell, that means he wants some cash right now for any emergency and all this, and in that case even if the price is low he want to sell and he increase the supply. That means again it shows the exceptions to the law of supply. In case of perishable goods, the supplier would offer to sell more quantities at lower price to avoid losses. For example, vegetables, eggs, etc. All of us know that because perishable goods, we cannot store perishable goods more than one day. Therefore, supplier may think that even if the price is low, we should supply so that the perishable goods will reach to the consumer and it should avoid the loss. Okay. Now, the fifth one is rare goods. The supply of rare goods cannot be increased or decreased according to its demand. For example, paintings, old coins, antique goods, etc. These are the goods which are having very much high price in the market, and even if they are getting the high price, we cannot increase their supply or decrease their supply because those are antique goods, rare painting, because just like that an artist who paints, if he draw one painting, he cannot draw exactly the same paintings. There is a little difference in that, and therefore when he make so many paintings, the one painting is sold for so much high price. In that case, he cannot increase the production of those paintings because he is an artist. He even if he wants, he cannot do the exact same copy of his painting, and therefore these are the rare goods in which law of supply does not exist because we cannot increase or decrease the production. Okay, I think all of you are getting about this law of supply. It's very important chapter. Supply analysis, law of supply. Yes, in the previous lecture I already explained you about the law of supply. Today we have seen exceptions to the law of supply. The variations in supply I will explain you in the next lecture. Okay, till then stay home, stay safe, do study well. If you have any doubt, put your doubt in your comment section, and please do like and subscribe my channel. Bye.